Good morning. Happy Saturday. How are you all doing today? Saturday is the day that is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is currently in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces has been an incredible, hey Valentina, I've been thinking about you, has been an incredible experience. It's already been there for probably a year and a half. It might be there for another, I think it's going to be there until June or so before it goes into Aries. Saturn is our cause and effect. We live in a reality, this earth realm, where everything is cause and effect. We have been conditioned and trained to believe that our actions are not coming back to us. So we witness people behaving in ways that are very irresponsible. And we ourselves, I behave in ways that are irresponsible. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm on the ground floor I live in the city of Los Angeles, and just watching this experience where the city is under fire and recognizing how we don't live congruently with nature and nature cycles and the way that nature clears and cleans out and starts over again and releases and begins. It's this ebb and flow. And as humans, we are a part of that. But many of us don't live that way because we live in cities and our lives are directed by economy, mostly, because money has become what really is taking the place for God. And it's a very profound thing as I witness it from the lens that I can see from, which is the astrology, is that we have started giving more power to the external realm without balancing the internal. We can call that can be like a ebb and flow, masculine and feminine. If we don't honor the feminine, then the masculine cannot be sustained. The feminine is the internal, the masculine is the external. This does not mean man and woman, but it can translate to man and woman. But everything has its place. And we have spent a great deal of time ignoring the internal realms, the internal creative process. And we have been deeply focused externally. So the cause and effect, the karma, when you don't sustain, when you don't give something the full cycle of what is required to keep it continually working, systems then begin to break down and become corrupted. And so because we have been in a world that is very external based, it's not feeding the internal feminine. How does that look in our world? It looks like, let me see if I can get a good example. It looks like one of the things, we live in a world where we eat a lot of fast food. There's no nutrition in our food. So over time, people develop illnesses because the food that they're taking in doesn't neutralize, I don't know if that's really a word, doesn't add nutrition and value to their bodies. So their bodies begin to break down. That is cause and effect. What you put in comes out. It might take a long time for it to come out, but what you're putting in has to come out. It's the way it is. Yes, the soil is very depleted and almost dead. And we're doing that not just with food, we're doing that with emotions. We're not feeding our emotions rich content so that we can feel. We have grown seduced by comfort. So we want things fast and we want things now, and we don't do the due diligence to understand the creative process. So we are weaker than what we would be, like when before there were cities and people had to farm and people had to be responsible for the soil, and it developed you. It developed your connection to everything. It developed you understood, this is where my food comes from. I plant it, I eat it, I cook it, and then I digest it, and then it's fertilizer. Like, those processes are a significant aspect of our humanity. And when we become disconnected from them, we lose aspects of ourselves. And what we're experiencing now is the karma, the cause and effect. Saturn and Pisces. Now, Pisces is the subconscious. Pisces is the things that are running us that we're not thinking about, like our heart is beating and you're not thinking about it. You don't have to plug it in. Your blood vessels, like, the things that you do without having to really bring awareness to it. Your body is doing that already. But they're, like most of us, when we wash dishes, we're in our subconscious. When we shower, we're really in our subconscious. When we sleep, we're in our subconscious. The things that we do on a daily basis become rote or routine because they become functions of our subconscious. And the work is to bring ourselves back to consciousness in the ways that we go out of consciousness. We can listen to music and the music is telling us really negative things, but we're still dancing because we're unconscious. There's so many ways that we are participating in our own existence, asleep behind the wheel, not really aware of what we're doing. And I see it in my own life all the time. I see it all the time. It would show up in ways that I would think about people. Like, I could be washing dishes and having a conversation about something I wish I said differently and ruminating on that thing over and over and over again. My subconscious, my unconscious, thinking that it's nothing because it's in my head and I'm just thinking about it, but it's really creating a reality. This is Saturn and Pisces. You're thinking about things and then they show up in your life. So our subconscious is a rich, magical, creative place. The imagination, the dream world, the spirit realm. And most of us are deeply disconnected from it because we live in a culture that demands that we are external, that we are thinking about the past, that we are fearing the future, and we are conditioned to do this. And because of the conditioning, we have lost hold of the reins of the spiritual world. Not that we would ever have hold on the reins of the spiritual world, but just to interact with it. Just to interact with it. India says, my grandma had a garden and she lived to be 98 years old with no money. That's right. That's right. And when she probably got ready to go, she just probably was like, I'm ready to go. And that's it. Because when we are tapped into ourselves and understanding the connection of what we put in our mouths and what we put in our minds and what we put in our ears and the people we spend time with and what we put on our bodies, when we have a relationship to that stuff, we tend to be more attuned, more connected, more aligned, more intuitive, more open and receptive, more conscious, more responsible, more accountable. And one of the things, this is kind of a sidebar, but I hear a lot of posts talking about women and saying that women are not responsible. Like, I always see these posts, men are like, women are not responsible. Women don't take responsibility. And then I go, well, last I checked, I'm a woman. Let me see what they're talking about. And what I know is that women are not doing the work to where we have the power. We govern the subconscious. We govern the inner realm. And when we don't do the work to govern the inner realms because we're in our heads and we are becoming so masculine, overthinking, competing, externalizing everything, we have gotten out of the driver's seat of our realm of dominion, which is the subconscious, which is the feeling, the internal creative realm. So when men are saying women don't take responsibility, what they're saying is that you're not looking at your role in this. and your role is the inner realms. Now, they don't know that they're saying it that way. They don't know that that's what they're saying because they don't have access to the inner realms. So all they know is that they're doing more work than they should be doing. That's what they know. And so they're saying women aren't doing their part. But our part is the subconscious realm. For me, that looks like I wake up, I do ritual every day. I pray for my family every day. I touch the earth. I talk to the sun. I ask for blessings. I pray for my clients. I'm harnessing the subconscious energy so that I am creating congruence and harmony that will allow me to be in flow with reality and with the external world that doesn't require a great deal of force, because the feminine energy is not force, it is power. The masculine energy is force. And when the feminine energy isn't doing her job, which doesn't look like a fucking job. It looks like dancing and singing and praying and drinking water and, loving everyone and making people feel good and inspiring them and touching the earth. Like, it looks like Mary Poppins, but it's a real thing. Like, we have come to think that it's nothing. We've come to think that, oh, you're just playing and that's bullshit. And that is real. You must talk to the plants and the water and the air and dance and sway your hips. And you must be flowy and feminine and lighten up and get out of your head and be whimsical. That is a real thing. We have been convinced that it's nothing. We've been convinced that if it's not hard and if it's not external and if we don't see it and if we're not getting that, it's nothing. But that's not true. That is not true. That is not true. So when you do the things that activate the invisible realm, you access power, you access magic, you access the true essence of who you are and your gifts and your connections, but it comes from this flowing, free-spirited, lighthearted, sensual, sexy, dancing, you know what I mean? It comes from this thing that is subliminal, sublime. It comes from you envisioning yourself the way you want to be and feeling it and acting like it and behaving and letting it, whoo, and that is real. That is real. That is the reason why men are in pursuit of women, because that energy is magnetic. And when you wield it and you cultivate it and you activate it in your world, the world feeds back to you what you put out. And it makes everyone's life easier. But it requires stoking. You gotta stoke it. Now, the thing is, most of us are too dense. We are too dense because we have not been lightening up, which is why we watch nature come in and bring tornadoes and firestorms, because we are not in alignment with the natural flow. So nature has to course correct us because we are not course correcting ourselves. And, I did a video yesterday talking about how we have to understand that we have to pay our dues. And, your dues are your sacrifices, meaning what are you giving? What's your input? What do you give to be here? It's like you pay rent or you pay a mortgage to live in your house, but the universe is saying, well, what are you doing to be here in the universe? Like, so are you doing your prayers? Are you doing your connection to the universe? Like, what are you doing to pay your dues for the space you're taking up? You're taking up space. And that space requires some payment, and it's not money. The space you take up in the universe doesn't require you to pay money. That's man shit. You are required to fulfill your purpose, your code. And when you are in the fulfillment of your purpose and your code, you don't run into calamity unless it's a part of the purpose and the code. So you're not doing the ritual work to avoid anything. You're doing it to keep the energy moving through your system as a payment to the universe for taking up space in this body. Because you need water, you need food, you need all these sort of things. So you have to do something to show the universe, I'm here, and bring me what is mine to do. And it's all within you. I'm very connected to myself in that way. Yes, men are drawn to it initially. However, when they see that it is real and truly who I am, they get mad about it. I often feel I'm meant to be alone. Yeah, that's because you haven't healed something in your masculine, brown sugar black girl. Yes, because when men encounter the feminine and realize that they cannot just access it for nothing, but they need it because they need it. Men need the feminine in order to thrive. So maybe you're not clear about what is their cost to access your energy. Maybe you're not clear about it. Or maybe you feel guilt about it. Or maybe you feel like it should be easier. You know what I mean? Like, men like a challenge. Men like a challenge. You know what I mean? They need a challenge. They need rigor. So, I don't know, maybe you should, I don't know. I would have to see you and know you and understand your chart. I don't know. Maybe you have some fire in your chart that's scorching them. Maybe you need more water. I don't know. Be conscious. It seems like instead of nature putting us back into alignment with these disasters, it would activate our sympathetic nervous systems and send us into fight and flight and survival. It seems like instead of nature putting us back into alignment with these disasters, it is activating us and putting us in fight and survival. I'm not sure if you're saying that it seems like we're actually, our nervous systems are getting better, or it seems like we're going into fight and flight. I'm not sure which one you're saying, but I know that both things are happening. These things are activating me into greater harmony. My nervous system is becoming more aligned, but I am a Black woman in a country that has been deeply terrorizing to Black people. So my nervous system has been out of whack since I was born. I have been in pursuit of this for a long time, and I have had to learn how to align under the most distressed experiences. I have had to learn to come into congruence through distress because the universe can do everything. And I have created deep seasons of peacefulness that have allowed me to relax and see what was necessary. So you can have anything you want if you're deeply committed to having it. The universe will open a portal for you to do what you need to do if you are committed, devoted, and sincere. And you cannot trick the universe. You cannot trick yourself. So there were many years when I was doing this work thinking I ultimately just wanted to get something, which was a man, which is so hilarious because men are so available. Men are not easy to come by. Men are easy to come by is what I'm trying to say. Men are not a difficult thing to. So once I realized that I don't have to hold myself up for receiving a man, they're easy to come by. Then I started really going into what I really wanted. I really wanted to heal myself. Yes, men are a dime a dozen. Men who are valuable and quality are not a dime a dozen, but men are a dime a dozen, but the ones that match your code are not a dime a dozen. So once I got clear about what I really desire, which was to fulfill my potential, all I really, really, really desire is to fulfill my potential. I desire to fulfill my potential more than anything else. More than anything else, I desire to fulfill my potential, because that creates a feeling in my system and my body that is profound. I feel aligned and on purpose when I am in fulfillment of my potential. And I might lose all my friends. Let me tell you, everybody can go. But if I am in alignment with my potential, the feeling in my body is undeniable. Like, I just have to let people go, because it's like the other day when I was telling you I was sharing how the winds have been so incredible here in Los Angeles. Oh, I mean, the wind was it was just amazing. I was literally in heaven. And then I started to smell the fire, and I was like, I smell fire. So I knew there were fires, but I hadn't seen anything. And then a day or so later, I look online and everything is on fire. And I immediately started to feel like, I should go into praying for water, pray for water. And my spirit said, if the wind is what feels good to you, why would you give it up because of an external experience that's not even happening in your reality? Because in even though I live in Los Angeles, in the reality that I'm in, I'm good. So it's what I noticed in that was that there is an aspect of me that will abandon myself. I will abandon what I really desire for the desires of another that might not even have anything to do with me. That's my conditioning. That's my training as a woman, as a Black woman, to deny myself for the needs of others. And what I'm doing, the North Node has been in Aries, and Aries is about the self. I have spent the last 18 months inviting myself to prioritize my own desires, even if they are not good for other people, if they are just good for me. Do I have the courage to choose myself over anything else? And that has been a rigorous internal investigation that hurts. Because what I see is women don't often have the courage to do that. We convince one another that it is wrong to choose yourself, that you must choose a man or your children. You must choose everyone else over your own individual self. And if I want to truly have a profound connection with the God in me, I must prove to myself that I can choose myself above all else. Because there is no way that the divine in me is going to reveal itself to me if I will sell myself to another to be liked, to belong, to have the approval of another, or anything else. If I want to know the divinity of my soul, I cannot sell myself to another for any reason. And learning that has been excruciating, because the depths of aloneness, the depths of solitude, the depths of confusion and pain around witnessing the mindset that really wants to be chosen by another, witnessing the mindset in me that doesn't feel like my own time, attention, and self is worth more than anything else. Understanding that I am the best thing that I got because I have control over this and I can direct it in the way that it is meant to be, but my attention must be upon it in order to do that. I cannot be looking for the approval of another, feeling like I'm not enough. It's so intimate. It's so intimate. And when I tell you I am releasing stuff from my gut, like it's like I've been having so much constipation, holding, just all of this stuff. And a friend of mine reached out and was like, I would love to hang out. And I said, I can't, I don't feel comfortable having anybody in my house. Like, my house is a mess. And they were like, I'll come and help you clean. And I was so grateful that as a Virgo that I could say that out loud, that I've lost control of something and that I need help, and that somebody would say, okay, I will come and help you. And that was a part of me understanding myself, like that I will try to do everything on my own and not extend an opportunity for other people to help and be supportive because of how it looks. Because of how it looks, you all. That's my story. Like, I'm concerned about how it looks to others, and which means I'm abandoning how it looks to me, how it feels to me. So I've had to come in and dig, like, look at the part of you that is performative, that really is caring about what other people think and how other people over what's really true for you and your own needs. So I could go into this all day long, but we're in the final stage of the North Node in Aries, and the North Node in Aries is going into the North Node in Pisces tomorrow. We're going to start a class tomorrow. The South Node in Libra has been all year long. We have been undoing our relationship, the way we relate to the other. The South Node is karma and dharma, and the South Node in Libra is clearing up your karma relationship. The North Node is dharma, the South Node is karma. So cleaning up your karmic relationship patterns, the ways that you overextend yourself, the ways that you abandon yourself, the ways that you project your responsibility onto others, the ways that you aren't able to see yourself, the ways that you hold fear in being true to yourself. That's Aries. Aries always has the shadow of fear. And then, Libra has the shadow of being indecisive, the ways that you are indecisive, the ways that you, they always say this thing, black don't crack. And I'm like, yeah, black is not cracked on the outside, but it's going to crack on the inside. So a lot of us have pretense, right? It looks good on the outside, but you're heartbroken on the inside. That's the karma that has been being to be healed. The ways that we are painting a pretty picture, but you're denying what's really going on inside of you. What's really happening is that you're heartbroken, that you're suffering, that you're desperate, that you are full of fear, right? And so those are the things that we have had to look at. People are in relationships because you're afraid to be alone. You're afraid that, in relationships because somebody has the money and you don't have the money. So you're in the relationship for resources that you're not really sharing in ways that are balanced and harmonious. Like I said, we can go on forever, okay? So all of this stuff is Saturn and Pisces, and it's being activated to be cleaned up. And it's your responsibility to learn how to tell yourself the truth about what's going on with you. And sometimes for me, that's hard because I can't see it. I'm like, I just don't even really see it. I can feel that I'm stuck. I can feel that, but I can't see exactly what it is. And so that's why I start using the herbs and the rituals so it'll reveal itself to me, like the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland. It just makes itself like, ooh, oh, there it is. That's shame. Oh, that's me being too proud, or, like it's that kind of energy, right? And I couldn't see it because I'm looking at somebody else thinking it's them. But when I come inside and I see myself, I'm like, oh, like today I had this experience. One of the things that I experience is that I don't know my power. Like, I don't know that my thoughts are really active. I don't get it all the time. And my cats are outdoor cats and indoor cats now because they were cutting the screens trying to break out of the house. So I had to start letting them out of the house. Somebody had said to me, your cats are so fancy, you can't let them out of the house. Somebody will steal them. So I was scared to let them out of the house. And the cats started being like, bitch, we getting out of this house whether you like it or not. So they've been out. And I noticed there's nothing in the litter box anymore. And I'm not seeing any poop. And so the litter box is always clean. But then, so I started saying to myself, where are the cats pooping? Where are the cats using the bathroom? That's what I started saying to myself. Where are the cats using the bathroom? For days, that's so interesting. I don't know if they're using the bathroom anymore. Then one day, out of the blue, my cat climbs into one of my potted plants and starts to pee. She's answering the question that I had in my head. Where are the cats using the bathroom? And because I hadn't had them out as much, because now she can use the bathroom when she's outdoors, she can pee in the bushes. So the plants are the bushes to her in the house. So now she's like, oh, I'm going to pee in the potted plants and not in the container in the bathroom. So she's answering the question, but I'm also seeing that my mind, she heard me through my subconscious. Hi, Chef Amira. She heard me through my subconscious and she answered the question. This is what I'm talking about as women, that we don't understand that mind, that thought form, it's doing something. It's real. And because I've been healing my nervous system, my animals have tapped into, we're in the same frequency and we're communing with one another. So I'm asking, where are they using the bathroom? And one day randomly, I hear her and see her in the plant. I'm like, oh, that's where you're using the bathroom. Okay. But it's not that she's using the bathroom in my plants in the house. They're using the bathroom in the plants outside. And that has become her understanding of how to pee. So they're not using the litter boxes anymore, which I'm like, okay, okay, And so I'm talking to them. If you're going to use the bathroom, I need to let you outdoors, but you cannot use it in the plants. You're going to either need to use it in the litter box or you're going to use it in the plants. And the thing is, the litter that I buy is the most expensive litter there is. It's called Scoon. And it's Darkomosis earth or something like that, decomosis earth. And they're not willing to use it anymore. They're so sensitive. Like they can smell, like they'll sniff it. And even though there's nothing in there, they can smell the urine or something. And so they don't want to use it. And I can't smell it, but they can smell it because they're cats and they have cat noses. So they pee in it one time and they're like, I don't want to pee in that anymore. It's dirty. So I'm in a whole thing right now. So now I'm in a whole thing of like, okay, how are we going to work this out? So I'm just sitting with it. And letting them out of the house so that they can pee because I don't want them peeing in the plants. It will work itself out. Something is being worked out. It's something deep and internal is being worked out. Initially, I was about to go to war with them, like, don't be in that plant. And instead, I was like, no, don't fight with this. Notice what's happening and see what is being offered. See what's being offered. Trust the process. So I'm in the process with it. This is Saturn and Pisces. This invisible shit that's going on, and it's like, how do I catch this? By meditation and ritual and practice. The thing that you can't put your finger on. You can't catch the water, right? You can't catch it. But you can move it by burning a candle, some incense, some Oh, I see you. I love myself, right? Like this is sacred ritual, sacred practice, sacred dance. This is the feminine. This is interacting with the feminine, with the spirits, right? So this is how we transform the energy. Tell them to bring you money to buy them what they need, to show you what they need. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's so sweet. I love that. I love that. You're saying tell the cats to bring me money to buy what I need? Tell me if you mean tell the cats to bring me money. So yeah, so that is what we're up to on this Saturn day. And understanding that subconscious energy. Tomorrow, okay, great. Thank you, Divine One Love. Tomorrow, we're going to start the Pisces and Virgo nodal transits. This is going to be an 18-month shift, and really wanted to talk to someone about all of this today. Thank you so much. Oh, I love that. Okay. And we're going to start this class tomorrow. It's an 18-month class. I have been known to come to Instagram or social media every day. I have done it for 800 straight days. I have done like 2.5, 3 years of every day. And we're going to start this nodal shift. The nodes, the reason I'm doing the class through the nodal shift on social media with no paywall is because if we can focus our energy where the eclipses will be taking place. The nodal shifts are where the eclipses are taking place. This is a get out of jail fast card. This is a quick learn opportunity where you can shift your life in 18 months because of the eclipses. And we're going to be doing this work. So I invite you to align yourself with this opportunity if you feel called. Take your time. You know, I'm going to make a lot of suggestions. I'm going to offer so much stuff, and you get to say what works for you and what does not. And for especially if you are a Pisces, or if you have a lot of Pisces placements, or if you have a lot of Virgo placements, this is going to be a very impactful 18 months for you. I will probably be here early in the morning, like 7 or so. But it'll be recorded, so you can come whenever. And what days and times will you be on? At this moment, so it's not scheduled like that, but you'll always be able to come and find the video. And so I usually will come early in the morning. Early, around 6 or so in the morning. But it'll be recorded, and it'll be here, and I'll say what day it is, and you will be able to come back and listen at your leisure. Okay, you all. Peace and blessings. I love you all so very much. Bye-bye.